Every day, it's becoming more and more popular to talk about life coaches. Those people who really motivate us to do better in life and who are supposed to be our guides, our role models. However, there's something that I personally consider more important and that most people don't talk about, and that's something that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about accountability. We're going to see the difference between being extremely positive and fighting for something that we think is the best or our life coaches think is the best, and becoming a little bit more responsible with our actions and with apologizing. So we're going to talk a lot about accountability. Defining accountability is not as easy as it sounds. It's way more complex, and actually its definition is way more complex than putting it into practice. Accountability is being responsible with our actions, accepting when we make mistakes, but not only that, it's also about how to put into practice those ideas, that awareness to make changes, to apologize, and to look for better connections with ourselves and with others. So now that we have defined accountability, I want to share my perspective on why I think that life coaches are not very helpful when it comes to being responsible with our actions and with our thoughts. Most times life coaches, they motivate you to continue, thriving, to continue fighting, and to continue being positive, And real life is not like that, sometimes you can be positive, that's really important, but sometimes you have to accept that life is not working the way you want it to work, and also that our actions, our decisions can lead us to places that we don't usually like, So with life coaches, it's really difficult to accept our mistakes. It's really difficult to identify what the problems are, especially if they come from ourselves. And it's difficult to grow from there. It's way better when you concentrate on accountability because you go and you look for the source, for the roots of the problem that most times it's inside of us, And that's why life coaches sometimes kind of take us to places that do not always serve as something good for our lives. Okay, so something important to keep in mind is that society doesn't train us, doesn't teach us to be accountable. Since we're kids, every single time we do something wrong or we make a mistake, we try to hide it, because if we don't hide it, if we express what we did, we're gonna probably be punished. So therefore, we grow up in a society that doesn't basically want us to be accountable. And we ignore how much this could help in our relationships, this common feeling of frustration that we have when the other person is not accountable. And we don't even know it. We're not conscious about it, but sometimes we feel frustrated with ourselves because we are not being accountable. Hiding the truth is sometimes worse, than being honest. So yes, accountability, you can call it medicine. Just imagine yourself in a relationship. It could be, love. It could be between boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, the way you want to call it. Or it can be in your family too, and even with friends. Imagine how beautiful it would be to be in a relationship in which you can make mistakes and then apologize, accept your mistakes, work together to improve and to build, the best relationship you can build. Just imagine that and tell me if accountability is not something positive. I personally believe that accountability is the reason why we are not so much into commitment. I think that not being accountable, it's a really big mistake that we make, and we have to change it as soon as possible. The most common mistakes that we make in relationships can be fixed with accountability. These are some examples of mistakes that we make because of a lack of accountability. Cheating, lying, lack of responsibility, even economic problems These are some examples of problems that we make in our relationships, and we lack the accountability that is necessary to fix them. So one more time, I don't have anything against life coaches, but I think that people who follow them should first start with accountability, and then to see if the purpose they have for following life coaches serves them or not. You know, it's not like the other way around, like becoming positive when things around you are not going well. So you need to work hard with accountability to make those things work well, and then maybe you can find motivation, extrinsic motivation, to try to continue with your lives.